Lloyd is just a kid when his entire village gets wiped out as collateral damage in a battle with the Demon Lord. That's when Merlin, a powerful mage, finds him and realizes, oops, this one's kind of on her. Feeling guilty, she adopts Lloyd and decides to raise him, with magic training and tough love. Day 1 of training. She shows him a fire spell for 3 seconds and then says, "No dinner unless you do it." Harsh? Yes. By evening, Lloyd sparks a tiny flame, only for Merlin to roast his eyebrows because it wasn't impressive enough. Next day, water magic. Merlin gives a cool demo with a water spout. Lloyd? He gets the floor damp and acts proud. Merlin immediately dumps a tidal wave on him. That's mentorship. Over time, Merlin keeps blasting him for every tiny failure, but Lloyd steadily improves. By winter, he's sculpting snow statues of Merlin with a flick. She pretends not to be touched and responds by animating the snow statue to toss him around like a rag doll just to keep him humble. One day, Merlin wakes up hungover, and Lloyd uses white magic to heal her headache. She's so touched she hugs him, and then immediately drags him back outside to resume training. Years pass. One day, Merlin gets a mysterious book and freaks out. Lloyd shows up with dinner, but when he picks up the book she drops, a flood of ancient magical knowledge hits him like a truck. He passes out. Merlin realizes he might be the chosen one and places a spell on him while he sleeps just in case he ends up arrogant like she once did. Training continues, now in a forest. Lloyd uses white magic to ripen a fruit, and Merlin is mildly impressed. But then she touches a whole tree and makes it bloom like a Disney miracle. Message received, he's still got a long way to go. Later, while studying, Lloyd asks about ancient magic. Merlin's mood darkens faster than a thunderstorm and shuts the topic down hard. From there, it's non-stop training. Learning to summon his staff faster, he gets whacked for being too slow. Magic, stone theory, survival trials, you name it. One day, she literally leaves him in the middle of the wilderness with just a knife and vanishes. Within minutes, he's being chased by a giant white wolf. Lloyd hides, runs, studies, improves spells, dodges a monster spider until finally, days later, he crawls back home, exhausted but alive. Merlin is secretly proud. More years pass. Lloyd finishes most of his training, but now Merlin uses him as a lab assistant for magic experiments, keeping him up all night. He's tired, overworked, and super curious about towns. So one morning, he leaves a book on his desk and sneaks off to finally experience city life. In town for the first time, Lloyd is amazed. He buys a single piece of bread and immediately runs out of money. Lucky for him, a flyer literally smacks him in the face, advertising an adventure party. He signs up. In his first mission, his new party fights a giant cyclops. Lloyd silently buffs everyone's stats without telling them, and the party thinks they're just naturally amazing. Alan, the leader, even one-shots the Cyclops and gets crowned a hero. Lloyd gets paid 5 coins and no credit, but doesn't complain. Later, when Lloyd skips out on the party's celebratory drinks, the mage gets salty. Alan brushes it off, saying Lloyd didn't contribute much anyway. Meanwhile, the mysterious man who was watching Lloyd reports back to Merlin. She's relieved he's okay and reflects on her past mistake, how the Demon Lord blew up an entire village to steal a magic book, something she never saw coming. Her teammate Sibyl used ancient magic to revive everyone, at the cost of his own life. She's been carrying that guilt ever since. Back in the present, Lloyd keeps buffing the hero party during battles, helping them win again and again while still getting no recognition. One night, Riina the Knight wonders why monster attacks suddenly feel weaker. Alan assumes it's just natural talent, despite not having trained in ages. Classic. Meanwhile, out in the forest, a guard doing his nightly patrol screams in terror as a giant golem appears in front of him. The next morning, the guard captain pays Alan a visit and asks for help. Turns out the night patrol guards were absolutely obliterated. Alan, being his usual overconfident self, agrees right away. Later that day, the group heads to the attack site. Thanks to Lloyd's tracking magic, they find the golem chilling inside a cave behind a waterfall. With Lloyd quietly boosting everyone in the background as usual, they make quick work of it. But plot twist, there's a demon lurking nearby who summons a new golem using rocks from the cave ceiling. Lloyd immediately clocks what's going on. The demon is using a staff embedded with a magic stone, and those things are bad news. If they don't stop him fast, this could get out of control. Thinking quick, Lloyd casts an accuracy buff and tells Lulu to fire an arrow straight at the demon who's hiding behind a wall. Lulu's confused but goes for it. And somehow, the arrow hits. Next, Lloyd has Mia teleport the staff over to him, then seals its power with a spell before anything else can go wrong. Meanwhile, Alan is fuming. How dare Lloyd give orders when he's the leader? So, to prove he's still the alpha, Alan charges at the golem to land the finishing blow. But the golem's about to turn his head into mashed potatoes, so Lloyd dives in to save him, literally shoving Alan out of the way. He just yells at Lloyd for getting in his way, then finishes off the golem and storms off. Back in town, Alan pulls a classic jerk move and fires Lloyd from the party. Claims he's lazy and never did anything useful. And after years of Merlin grilling him over every little mistake, Lloyd just believes it. He walks away quietly, thinking maybe he really was the problem. Over the next few days, Lloyd tries to find a new party, but it's not easy. Most groups are full, and white mages aren't exactly trending. Just when things seem hopeless, a girl named UI shows up, grabs Lloyd's hand like her life depends on it, and begs him to join her party. And just like that, episode 1 ends. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.